follow these instructions. Everybody understand? All right. Please do.
Verdict, count 1, sexual battery. We, the jury, impaneled and sworn in the above entitled cause, do upon our oaths find as follows. Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery and set punishment at 8 years. Count 2. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring lewd exhibition and punishment is set at 5 years. Defendant is not guilty of the crime of rape in the second degree. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment is set at 20 years. Count. Defendant is not guilty of the crime of indecent exposure. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment is set at 16 years. Defendant is guilty of the crime of rape in the first degree and punishment is set at 30 years. Defendant is guilty of the crime of rape in the first degree and punishment is set at 30 years. Count 30, sexual battery. Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery. Let me ask the jury, is this your verdict, so say you all? Yes. Right. Counsel, would you like to examine the verdict forms?
If the allegations against former Oklahoma City police officer Daniel Holtzclaw are true, he is a serial sex offender, a predator who used his power and position to prey on women.
And this is with his patrol car.
Yeah, he was very proud.
But that is not how the Holtzclaw family sees it.
There's just no way. There's not a fiber in my body that believes they did it.
In his boyhood home in Enid, Oklahoma, he's still the hero with his own personal Hall of Fame in a corner of the living room. His biggest fans, his parents, and sister Jenny.
He's such a loving brother. He has such a big heart.
To them, he is forever the pistol-packing birthday boy, the perfect prom date, anything but the prime suspect in a series of notorious crimes that revolted the country.
Officer Holtzclaw, do you have anything to say?
What's it like watching your son be portrayed as a monster, a serial rapist, a predator?
It's very hard. He's just like you and me. He's just a man. And he's not the villain that they portrayed him as.
To fund their son's defense, the Holtzclaws say they have emptied bank accounts and asked for donations. Eric Holtzclaw has indefinitely delayed plans to retire.
Hello?
Please take call from an inmate at a correctional facility.
Hello?
On a scratchy phone line from behind bars, it's the accused calling, Daniel Holtzclaw.
Officer Daniel Holtzclaw sexually abusing several women while he was on duty.
The object of so much public scrutiny and scorn, about to speak publicly for the first time. Daniel Holtzclaw had told 2020 he wanted to talk on camera, but authorities will not allow it. They say for his own safety. A former cop behind bars is a target.
What made you want to talk to us?
I want people to hear from me how I respond to these questions so they can see the truth. I have nothing to hide.
You say you're not guilty. You're telling me you never raped any of those women.
Absolutely.
Have you ever sexually assaulted any woman?
I have never sexually assaulted anyone.
Holtzclaw says not only did he not commit these crimes, there were no crimes. He insists the women, all 13 of them, are lying. He claims none of them were sexually assaulted by anyone.
Why would 13 women lie?
The detectives approach these women and say, we have a tip that you've been sexually assaulted by an Oklahoma City police officer. It's basically giving them a lottery ticket to say yes.
They went out and sought these people and planted the idea that, oh, we're investigating this officer that we think may have assaulted you.
Could it be that you reverse engineered the investigations and put the power of suggestion into some of these potential victims' heads?
You could do that. I mean, I guess, but I didn't.
In our interview, Holtzclaw freely admitted that he did have interactions with all of the women. But he wasn't committing crimes, he says. He was trying to solve them, develop sources, locate drug houses, and help some of the women straighten up.
Why were you putting these women in the back of your car? Because investigators say that's not only bad police work, but it's dangerous.
That's good police work. You run warrant searches, you can talk to them, you find intel based on what their stories are to see if they match up.
Police also point out that Holtzclaw violated protocol after one of those traffic stops. After Holtzclaw allegedly assaulted Shardarian Hill, he actually friended her on Facebook. These are some of his messages. Making sure you're doing okay and staying out of trouble, reads one message. And on at least 5 occasions, he asks her to call him.
We don't Facebook friend people we put in jail. That's just stupid.
And when his girlfriend found out about it later, even she wondered about that.
Did you think it was weird that he Facebook friended one of the women?
Yeah, I didn't understand that at first. When I asked him, why would you do that? And he said he was just trying to help her, and I was just trying to be a good guy and make sure she was okay.
But it's not just that you Facebook friended her. You went to her house in your personal car. Why would you do that?
Basically, just check up on her, make sure she's okay. I should have not done that. I was wrong, but I did not do anything to her. I did not come on to her.
That is not what Shardarian says.
When he got there, he was trying to get me to have sex with him.
Police continue hunting for the most incriminating evidence of all, that elusive mystery victim, the DNA from Holtzclaw's uniform pants. Kim Davis and other detectives searched through records of every person Holtzclaw checked for outstanding warrants.
First name's gonna be Carla.
So it was gumshoe detective work.
Yeah, it was just hitting the streets, putting on our tennis shoes and going.
And then the tennis shoe detective work pays off. Detective Kim Davis locates a girl who may be the most important witness of all, a 17-year-old. Holtzclaw had given a ride home just hours before pulling over Janie Liggins. The teenager tells police Holtzclaw assaulted her too.
He started searching me like this and he put his hands up under my clothes and started fiddling on me.
Did he say anything then?
He was like, well, you know you have warrants and I don't have to take you to jail today. So this is what you're gonna have to do.
Davis then swabs the teen's mouth, collecting a DNA sample.
To compare to any DNA that we've got on his clothing.
They send it off to the lab, and bingo, it's a match, confirming that her skin cells were found inside the fly of Holtzclaw's pants. He says there's an innocent explanation. He may have picked up the girl's DNA searching her and then transferred it to his pants during a bathroom break. But the police are certain that DNA is going to put him away.
When you got that DNA match, what went through your head?
Well, I said I was going to do a backflip off my file cabinet, but I didn't. Oh, I was just ecstatic because that was the DNA moment.
Run down through on your search of her breasts again. Exactly how that went, because even that and her pants.
Was she standing or sitting during that time?
Patted when I got to the vehicle about right here. Said, can I search you?
More by the front door.
The front right fender. And then I patted her down, boom, boom, boom. Lift up your shirt right here. Boom, no weapons.
So you said lift up her shirt. Your shirt.
Yep.
What if she would have gone, whoa?
Then I would have told a supervisor or something. I'd be like, get that off my back. It's not what I meant.
You searched her with her, where was her, was she facing you or facing away?
Facing away.
She's facing away.
Right.
And how are you seeing if anything's falling, if she's facing away?
If it'd fall, I would see right there.
You'd see right there, but don't you usually have them turn face towards you and do the shakeout?
Officer safety, I always have everyone face away from me. You can't see what you can't hit.
But you don't know if the weapon's there or anything?
As far as I quick pat search, lift up your shirt, no weapons on board.
You made a mention earlier about her pants. She did what with her pants?
As far as that, it was in the back seat. Nothing. She had tight pants and that's about it.